Kochie's Business Builders is proudly brought to you by our partner Dell, helping small businesses grow.
This week on Kochie's Business Builders, digital whiz Tracy Sheen joins me as a special co-host. Elvi Jewels gets crystal clear on their business challenges. Plus, it's the sweet smell of success for this local florist double act. G'day and welcome to another great episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we take a look at the issues facing small business owners and come up with practical advice and tips to help you succeed. Joining me today as co-host is digital expert Tracy Sheen. Tracy's a bit of a tech guru. She spent the past 20 years helping businesses use technology to grow and is well known for her practical, down-to-earth advice. She's just written a great book called The End of Technophobia, a practical guide to digitising your business. And I reckon if anyone can help business owners ditch their fear of tech and make digital solutions work for them, it is Tracy. Tracy, welcome to the program. Why did you think we needed a book to get over this fear of technology?
Do you remember the film Groundhog Day with Bill Murray?
Yep.
Where he kept reliving the same day over and over again? It was like that for me with conversations with small business owners. It was the same conversation I was having over and over again, and it was always around either technology overwhelm or I don't know where to start or I don't know what I don't know. And then COVID hit, we all went into lockdown, and then suddenly a bunch of people kind of went, oh, I need to get online. And then I realised as I was speaking to them that we've kind of had this patchwork quilt way of pulling technology together. So bits and pieces getting ad hoc. There was no strategy. So I thought it's about time that someone actually put that in place for small business owners, and we need to have a bigger conversation around tech.
Technology is based around processes.
Absolutely. And, you know, look, the stats are just crazy out there. You know, the people I speak to predominantly are kind of over 40.
Yeah.
And when we look at the ABNs, 63% of our ABNs are held by business owners over 40. We didn't grow up with tech, you know? So it's just adding this other thing in, and we're so adaptable that it's just providing that roadmap.
All right, can't wait to learn more about the roadmap and get your advice, Tracy. Hang around as we catch up with a business that firmly believes in delivering a personalised experience for every customer. Elvi Jewels operate a family business out of Sydney's iconic QVB. When COVID shut down the city's retail stores, owners John and Nicole turned to online to help them survive. Now that business is getting back to a sort of post-pandemic normal, the couple face the challenge of where to put their focus, in-store or online. So we sent in KBB expert Jane Kay to help John and Nicole realign their business for success.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, John.
Hi, I'm Nicole. Nice to meet you.
Great to see you.
Good, thanks for coming today,
Oh,
and
my
welcome
goodness.
to our office. This is where I guess the magic happens for Elvi Jewels.
What made you fall in love with this business?
About 6 years ago, we came up with the whole personalisation concept.
Yeah, fabulous.
We rebranded to Elvi, which is our daughter's name, and we brought
Gorgeous.
in new packaging and new branding. And you can see some of our packaging here with the bag and the box in a beautiful pink colour, and these are some of our pieces that we do. So here we have a display of some of our pieces. So we have this part set up to look a bit pretty because we do have the odd customer coming in and picking some items up. These are some of our current pieces and new pieces. So this is two pendants on one necklace.
So these are beautiful gifts. Is that what you find?
Yeah, I find like a good majority of our sales are for gifts, like
Yes.
even up to 70%, I think.
Being in retail myself, I know that it's been a pretty tough couple of years. How have you guys coped?
Look, it has been really tough. We just had to look at our digital marketing, which was nothing we ever did. We had an extensive database of email subscribers, so we had to start
Contacting our
putting a
customers,
strategy in place for that. But now we're at a point where it's like we need to re-look because I feel like there's a lot more potential for us.
Yeah.
You know, the feedback we get from our customers is they love it, but I sometimes don't get the return that I'm expecting or get the sales that I'm expecting. I'm looking to how can I grow this? How can I scale this? How can I be more profitable? Okay, let me show you a bit more around the office.
Let's do it.
So this is our desk area. Nicole tends to sit here. I'm not sure if she does any work, but this is where I sit and most of the work happens.
So I love that you're a family business and a husband and wife team. Well done. Congratulations. Still married.
Yeah.
Business is still going. So tell me about like each of your roles and what the bits you love doing. And
Yeah. So I predominantly run the store. I manage the store and you will find me working there a couple of days a week, which is really good fun. And then I do come in and help John with the production by engraving the pieces and packing them.
I'm based at the office most of the time. I only go into the shop on the busy days. Yeah, I'm here. I look after the online orders. I look after the website, the customer emails. I look after the bookkeeping. I look after the marketing side.
that sounds like a long list.
I know. I wish I could like clone myself. But
When you're in the trenches, it's hard to focus on working on the business when you're so in it.
oh yeah, I feel like I'm juggling every aspect, and sometimes when you're in that, sometimes you drop the ball on things.
So it sounds like the really popular jewellery at the moment is the personalised jewellery, so that I can get it exactly how I want. And so if I ordered something like that, how long would it take before I could receive it? Or
We do it right here in the office. We make it
Wow.
straight away, yeah. So this is our little factory here. And
wow.
this is where we engrave all the pieces literally every day.
how much training do you need to be able to operate this?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a bit of training because the program is just not copy and paste.
Yes.
It's actually a purpose-built program to engrave jewellery. Everything's made here and then it's brought over to our packing desk here.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, such beautiful packaging.
So we're trying to create an experience for our customer. Not only can they personalise the piece, but when they unbox it, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And the last thing here is our photography section. So we also convert this into a studio.
I
let me
I
show
hear I
you.
might be talking to the photographer.
You are, yes. But not the model. Yeah, so this is our office. You can see we've set it up really well. Like, I just feel there's a lot more potential for us to be doing more, to be scaling the business.
Build it and they will come. Well, I look forward
Exactly.
to exploring that with you. That sounds like a good challenge.
Awesome.
After the break, the digital divide. Does the digital skills gap mean bad news for business, or is it an opportunity? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to the show. Now, nothing has shown up the skills shortage quite like the pandemic, and if recent research by RMIT is anything to go by, we are not out of the woods. According to RMIT, 87% of jobs now require digital skills, and 4 in 5 Aussie business leaders agree that adopting new technologies is essential to achieve business success. In fact, Australia's international competitiveness is being held back by a growing digital skills shortage. It sounds ominous, doesn't it? Tracy, there could be opportunities in all this, right, isn't it, for all of our businesses?
Absolutely. There's always opportunities. We can't afford now to keep looking at doing business the way that we've always done. You know, we need to be adaptable. We need to look at what's available to us and be willing to be open and curious. Curiosity is our biggest advantage right now.
OK, so what do business owners need to do to keep themselves and their staff up to speed with these skills?
15 minutes a day, you know? Read an article, read a KBB article. You guys put so many good articles out there. Watch the tech tips on business builders. You know, jump on YouTube, whatever it takes, but just 15 minutes a day, and encourage your team to adopt the same kind of curiosity where maybe of a Friday you get around and have a lunch and talk about, hey, what's missing? What could we be doing better? You know, what are you hearing about? And then, you know, start to get inquisitive.
And it's important for the business owner to drive this, isn't
Absolutely.
it, themselves? Not say, I'll get a young team member to do it. you've got to adopt that role.
Absolutely. You need to understand the language. You need to understand where technology's going, and you need to keep your client at the centre of everything you're doing, because if you don't, you're not going to be here in 5 years.
Give us a baseline that businesses should have to actually be up to speed in this area. Something, the very basic that you've got to have now that you can build on.
So the first place I always start with clients is to do a digital audit. Step back, have a look at everything you've got in the business, from your hardware right through to your software, apps, everything. And then you can kind of go, okay, well, what's the one thing that if we made some tweaks to would improve our business? And only ever go for one thing, because otherwise it gets overwhelming.
Tracy, thank you for that. That's a great roadmap for us to start on. Well, no matter how big or small your business is, you'll want to hear what Louise Ridlin, founder of the IT Lady, has to say about backing up your important info. It's Tech Tips time.
Hi, I'm Louise Ridlin and I'm the owner of the IT Lady in Sydney. Every day I get business owners asking what needs to be backed up, when and how. And here's what I tell them. Keeping data only on your computer hard drive isn't enough. There is always the possibility of theft, malware and accidents. So the best way to ensure that your valuable data is as protected as possible is to use comprehensive integrated backup solutions covering both software and hardware. The 3-2-1 rule is the way to go. This means having 3 copies of your data, 2 on external backup drives and 1 at a remote location. This can either be an off-site storage company or in a cloud-based backup environment. And finally, your backup should be as regular as the last bit of information that you could not live without. As small businesses grow, we're dealing with more data than ever. So you can regularly protect your data just through automating your backups across all of your business devices using Windows File History.
After the break, the co-founders of Edible Blooms prove there's truth to the saying, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Hi, I'm Abby. Hi, I'm Kelly, and we're the founders of Edible Blooms. Well, if you asked our mother, she has rose-coloured lenses of us growing up, and she would say that as sisters we never fought growing up. But I think she tells my children that now so they stop fighting. But we actually have always got along really well, and we're very different. So Abs and I have got very different strengths and things that we love.
That's what makes it work so well.
Yeah, it does. Edible Blooms is your world of gifts. So we started with our signature product, which is bouquets you can eat. So we started with beautiful fresh fruit bouquets, but they're really just boxes of joy. We also do our hamper range, and we've also expanded internationally.
We first started our entrepreneur journey when we were about 10 years old. So back then, we used to make melting moment biscuits for the local cafe in the small country town that we were from. And we would sell them, and that would be our pocket money. But out of that, Mum actually used to deduct the cost that it made, like to make the biscuits out of that. So we learned from a very early age how to run our own little business.
It's a pretty agile work environment, and I have to say that's what makes it interesting, and that probably is the reason why we're still running Edible Blooms and loving it 17 years after starting it back in 2005. At Edible Blooms, we've had the American Express Platinum Business Card for over 10 years. Why it's been such an asset to our business is because we automate a lot of payments through it. One of the things as a business owner is the more that you can automate processes, the more that you can streamline things in your business. It saves you time and you can spend more time doing the things you need to do.
With our American Express points, we reward our team. So we use them for in-house programs, staff rewards, birthdays.
Our new website has got a feature, it's called Instant Gift. So when you're choosing the gift you want to send somebody, you can either do the traditional e-commerce checkout where you type in their address and the delivery date and we send the gift, or you can choose Instant Gift, and all you need to send that gift is their email and their phone number, and we do the rest. So it takes all the hassle out of sending a gift and doing those just because amazing, beautiful moments. It makes sending a gift so easy. In today's environment, we need to make it as easy as we can for our customers to send joy. Running a business is hard work. You know, you work really long hours. You can only do that if you love and you're passionate about what you do. And I think when we started Edible Blooms, we thought it would be birthdays and anniversaries and babies arriving and all of those things. And I think the thing that's given us the most joy are where we're connecting to people, and it's literally a just because. That's the thing that I have loved the most.
Yeah, and I think also when we've been through such a hard time in COVID where families couldn't see each other, and it helped connect people during that really hard time that we had.
One of the things I think we're really proud of is the fact that we have grown a really recognised brand, particularly in the Australian market. We're still relatively new in New Zealand and the UK as well. We're always changing for our customers. And I think a brand needs to keep evolving over the years. Edible Blooms started as this little idea to spread joy in a really creative way, and it's really grown to be something that we're super proud of, and sometimes we pinch ourselves and think, how are we doing this?
I know.
So we really consider ourselves to be super lucky.
Hi, I'm Ryan Williams. I'm the Playford Professor of Business Growth at the Australian Centre for Business Growth. Very excited to share with you a few thoughts around what we see in all the small and mid-sized businesses that we work with across the country. We found over time, working with some of these small businesses, they're really agile and innovative in how they go about things, often solving problems that larger corporate companies haven't necessarily managed to achieve. Lots of people suffer from imposter syndrome and don't recognise for themselves just how creative they are and how creative the resources are that they have in the business. One of the important tips for me would be to own that and to remember just how creative you and your business and the people around you can be. The other thing that strikes me is many small business owners spend too much time in the weeds, too much time on the tools. I advocate for most businesses that they should try every 2 weeks to spend at least 45 minutes to an hour, book time out, get away from the factory, get away from the floor, get out of the shop, and spend time thinking about the business and what you would do going forward, rather than just working in the environment and having everything wash over you. By doing that, you can then really lean into how you're going to implement and focus on getting the things done that you need to get done.
We're back to see how our retail expert, J&K, can help Elvi Jewels owners, John and Nicole, hone in on what's important to make their business stand the test of time.
Oh, well, look, John and Nicole, thank you so much for having me here today. I've absolutely loved meeting you and hearing more about your absolutely gorgeous business, Elvies, and it's quite obvious to me that you're still in love, not only with each other, but still in love with the business, which is amazing after what you've been through in the last couple of years. It's been really tough. You've really dug deep and found this whole new market online and discovered that your customers are happy to meet you there as well. What you're up against is that you two are so deep in it that you are in the trenches, and when you're working so hard in the business, sometimes it's just really hard to work on it and work out how do I scale this business and how do I take it to the next level. So I'm really excited to explore that more deeply with you, because I'd love more people to discover this beautiful family business, you know, creating beautiful moments for people when they give a gift.
Firstly, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate your support. Just from speaking to you, I've had a realisation, both of us have, that we are stuck working in the business.
Well, we can definitely work on that together, and I think there's probably a little bit of homework I need to give you to go away and think about, and half of it's getting back to basics, and no one knows their business and their industry more than you guys. You've been in jewellery for a long time, you know it. I can feel your passion when you're talking about it. So I know that, you know, in the end, a lot of the answers you will have, and we'll just discover them together.
That's great, and we're really excited to take that step with you.
So I think in terms of the things that you could probably both go away and think about is just really returning to the basics of, okay, so who is my customer? We've talked about that a little bit today, about who she is, and any information she's given you before, you know, any surveys you've done with your customers, you know, you're having conversations with your customers all the time in store. What she told you about the brand, about your product that you can learn from and we can take into this journey. The passion for having that one-on-one with customers is still there. So the question for you, I know you've got a lease coming up. What would that lease look like if we were to extend it? What would be our options if we were to move somewhere else? I'd love to have a little bit more information about that when we get together again. And then I think on the promotional side, just really thinking about your digital marketing, which is going to be so key to this scaling. And I know it's outsourced at the moment. Is that the right thing? You know, should you be skilling up in that area? What do you keep outsourced and what do you insource, and what other help do you need? Because you guys need some help. So let's really think about what's the best help for you moving forward. From what I'm hearing, there's a little bit more work that can be done in really understanding your numbers, both for the online side of the business and also for your store that has been through a little bit, and understand where it is right now and how that's performing for you. I'd love you to get into the spreadsheets. So I think what's next is I would absolutely love to come and visit you, Nicole, in the store.
Yes, please.
Yes. Any excuse to get to the QVB.
We'd love to have you. Definitely come in and say hello and have a look around, and I'll show you what we do down there.
Awesome. See you there.
Great advice there from Jane, and can't wait to revisit Elvie Jewels in a couple of weeks to see how they're going. Tracy, thanks for joining me on the show today. It was great to have you. And remember, if you're looking for great business tips on the latest business news, then join our small business community. You can find us online at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and also Twitter. I'll see you at the same time next week. Bye for now. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, Tom Griffith, co-founder of Emma and Tom's, slides into the co-host seat with some great advice. We drop in for a cuppa with a former monk turned business coach. Plus, we introduce you to two businesses with unique challenges, one in hospitality and the other in fashion.